Trigger warning. The podcast. This episode is going to start off with couples therapy. David, what's your problem?
My problem is the fact that some so-called roommate, we'll leave him anonymous.
I wonder who it could be.
Completely anonymous.
Anonymous.
Completely
Anonymous.
What'd he do?
He left a cup of coffee sitting on our living room table for a week. I went to pick it up and clean it, or throw it in the sink, and there was still coffee in it.
But very, very little.
From a week ago.
And we also, granted, the coffee being in there for a week, probably shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
But we also have to point out the fact that the only reason you had to clean up the coffee from the floor is because you were making a joke and you poured it on the ground. Not on purpose, not deliberately. You didn't know the coffee was still in there, but you did go to make a joke, and that's how it ended up on the ground.
So it's not necessarily my fault.
No, it is 100% your fault. You should have cleaned up your shit a long time
And
ago.
I threw it on the ground.
Happy birthday to the ground.
Copyright.
Sorry.
I mean, it's only copyright if it's more than 30 seconds.
That is true.
I thought it was 10.
30.
Okay.
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
Okay, now that we've settled that Austin's the dumbass, but you probably shouldn't have poured it on the floor, I have a follow-up to one of the subjects from last week.
Okay.
The Area 51 raid.
Oh, yes.
Few things. Number one, last time I checked, which is about a day or two ago, the total count of going and interested has now officially hit 3.5 million.
Oh, shit.
Which is absolutely nuts. There have been word that the Air Force is quote-unquote scared.
No, they're not scared. They're actually threatening to bomb the people.
Yes, because they're scared. And the third thing, based off only on the webpage, just the people that are going, not interested, just going, people that have clicked that, makes the Area 51 Raiders the fourth largest militia in the world.
Holy shit.
We have more people than the entirety of the enlisted U.S. Army, or the U.S. military in general. Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, everything.
Coast Guard's
Like I said last podcast, A-10 Warthog.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that the Raiders are going to win.
Rotary grenade launcher?
Nothing is stronger than love, except an M32 rotary grenade launcher, because fuck you and everyone around you.
Yeah, I'm not saying the Raiders are going to be successful in what they're doing.
Oh, no.
All I'm saying is I think it's completely nuts that... Oh, yeah, that was the other thing. Forgot about that. The guy came out of who made the page. Mm-hmm. His name's Matty, and I'm pretty sure his last name isn't released for obvious reasons.
Of course.
But he started as a joke.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And if 40 people signed up, he's like, oh, that's kind of funny. And then it hit, next time he checked it was at 1.2 million.
Jesus Christ.
He's like, I started this as a joke. It was not supposed to be an actual, let's actually do this thing. But now he's just like, fuck it, I'm in it. Let's do this shit.
Hell, there's even been like celebrity backing for this too.
Yeah,
Chuck Norris, Keanu Reeves, Terry Crews, fucking...
the Jonas Brothers.
Seriously?
No, that...
I was
If
about to
they're
say,
going,
that'd be funny.
if they're going, they're just playing music in the back. That's it.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito, yep.
So he's going to be part of it.
Jackie Chan.
Dwayne Johnson.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Also,
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know...
know
No,
that?
I don't know the reference.
I hear something in the background. What's running?
Guys, I think we're being abducted.
But I digress.
But yeah, I just think it'd be funny, like Danny DeVito, running into battle. And also, I don't know if you guys know who this is,
I
but
dropped my Norris condom.
yeah, exactly. He said Area 51.
Magnum down.
Yeah, he said Area 51 can't handle my Magnum dong. I'm in.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys know who Mini Lad is, but he's a YouTuber.
Yes, Craig Thompson.
Yeah, correct. He has
a rugby stadium named after him.
Yes, and
okay.
he's making a stop September 20th at the raid.
Oh,
It's in the middle of his demonetized tour.
Now I have to go just because of Mini Lad.
So you're going with us now?
Just to meet Craig.
No, Dad, we will buy the tickets right after this fucking podcast.
Just to meet
Yes,
Craig.
you will. I'm not going to because I don't have money right now.
Wait till next week.
Yeah. That's fine. I'm just not buying it right now.
Okay.
Anyway, David said he had something that he wanted to.
Yeah.
He said he found a story right before we started the podcast.
What do you want to share?
Yes, I did.
I'm giving him the
do you wanna share with
reins
us,
in the
David?
beginning, even though it's my fucking.
Hour.
Excuse you?
My face is on half of it.
Excuse me. Yes, your face is on half of it, but things have not happened yet.
Excuse you?
I handle the beginning part. That's usually what happens. I usually
true.
give the lead in.
So apparently and I've just been finding these random news stories on random websites.
Yeah.
Apparently a man in Spain was arrested because he had cocaine under his toupee.
The fuck? Oh, I've seen that picture.
I saw the picture. Yeah, the toupee. Like, it legitimately, he looks like a cone head from that State Farm parody commercial.
Because it says, police said the man attracted their attention because he looked nervous and had a disproportionately large hairpiece under his hat.
So, like Austin's hair normally.
Yes.
Got it.
My hair is flat, you fuck.
Sometimes.
My
Yeah.
hair is always flat.
Sometimes.
But yeah, that's nuts. Like,
But I literally cannot get over what this image looks like. What this dude's face is like. It literally just looks like he has a condom
yeah.
on his head.
Yeah, it looks like a hair condom. That's exactly what it looks like.
It's
When he has the wig on, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the thing from the Addams Family. I don't remember the name of it. The little hairy
apparently
thing.
It was a half kilo.
Damn.
It was a lot of coke. It was a ton of coke. I saw. Speaking of drugs, I saw a story on Facebook. It was a local police department, and it was like, "Hey, does this baggie look familiar to you? Come by the police station and claim it. Comes with a free police ride, and it's just a bag of meth."
Oh,
It was just found in a parking lot, like flopping around, and they're like, "Oh shit, that's meth." We should probably pick that up and put that in storage.
Speaking of, are we gonna talk about these meth gators?
Oh,
Meth gators.
dude, that legitimately 100%. That was on my list to talk about. That was one of the
Sweet.
things.
Meth
Yeah.
gators.
Yeah, meth gators.
I believe it's Tennessee. Hey friends, we're back. We had a little bit of an audio issue where part of it didn't record, but we fixed it and we're back on for the rest of the podcast. So I believe we cut off with the me talking about the meth gators. That's what you went into.
Yeah, meth gators.
Meth bats.
Essentially, what that
Meth
story.
bats.
Meth bat. Oh my god, that'd be terrifying too.
That would be Batman on meth.
Ooh.
I am the darkness. But it's like, okay, but on
my fix.
enough with the side tangent. On the meth gators thing, pretty much what it is it's a the Tennessee like public safety like sewage kind of people. They're warning against flushing your meth, drugs, cocaine, whatever down the toilets because there's a risk that it could create meth gators, which is pretty terrifying in my opinion.
Yes.
Because gators as themselves, just in normal life,
Okay,
will just attack you for really no reason. But a gator on meth, like imagine if you're carrying meth, like you have like a little bag in your pocket, you go in the cell, going to get some, get some cash, and a gator comes up and you're like, oh shit, yo, that's a gator. But the gator smells that meth, and the gator's like, yo, that's the shit
It's
that
like
make
rar, bitch.
Yo, I
Yeah.
want that meth.
Rar dies.
that's the shit that makes me feel good. Don't do meth, obviously. We're talking to the
we don't
viewers.
condone drugs.
We're not condoning drugs. We're just creating a
Rar-
hypothetical.
rar
But the
dies.
alligator's like, yo, that shit makes me feel good, and I feel real bad right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fucking eat your leg
just to get
just to get that meth. And then
yeah.
once I'm on the meth, it's meth to gators is like weed to humans. He just gets the munchies, and then that drug dealer's off the market. Yeah. The meth gator thing would be terrifying. But
dude's just off the market.
yeah, that dude's gone.
He's no
But
longer-
no, speaking of
Yowdy.
sewage, California did something this week. And I cannot wait to hear
Bam.
Austin's reaction to it. Ready?
What's up?
In California, she and he will be replaced. There is no gender specific things in governmental maintenance names. So the words manpower, manhole will become workforce and maintenance hole. So they're getting rid of like the man connotation and things. So like Manchester would be person Chester kind of thing. The whole state of California.
That is the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard.
Right before you said that, David made a noise, and it literally sounded like a really, really wet fart coming into the microphone. You clipped. You clipped.
I know I did.
Everything got maxed. I was just looking at the audio reader here, and all I saw was Austin's go bright fucking red. That was too loud. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn your ass way the fuck down.
My bad.
I'm just gonna turn your ass down. But yeah, they're replacing all the gender specific like parts of names.
Yeah, that's dumb as shit.
Like, why is this a
Why are we
thing?
living in this time and age
Why are
where
you-
Everything is just being changed from he, she, to
It.
thing.
Yes.
Person.
The thing is, changing things, like, I don't think it should be a law, but I can understand changing manpower to workforce. That's not a big thing.
Yeah, that's...
But the fact manhole does not come from the fact that it's a hole in the ground that man goes into.
No,
It's short for maintenance hole. They're literally just saying, oh no, we're not going to abbreviate that word anymore. It's maintenance now.
it's so stupid as shit.
You saying maintenance is... It's kind of triggering me right now.
Why?
Maintenance? You're emphasizing the N.
Yeah, it's a maintenance.
Maintenance?
Maintenance.
Maintenance.
There's only one N.
Yeah, it's
not
No.
maintenance.
two. It's maintenance.
No, it's MAINTENANCE. There's literally 3 N's.
Oh.
Maintenance.
But it's pronounced maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance.
Maintenance.
Why do I feel like I'm hearing you say it wrong?
No, I
You're
can.
not.
If anything, okay, this is stupid, but if anything, I can hear it better because we have live monitor feedback going straight to my ears. So
Yeah.
my voice is louder, your voice is louder, his voice is louder. I got crisp audio.
Crisp.
Nice.
You clip the mic?
Damn it, I was going to do that.
But anyway, to anyone listening, we don't really have anything planned for this episode. We just wanted to go into those weird, like, short anecdotes. So what we're gonna do is insert fun music here. Story time with the boys. Okay.
All right.
So we're gonna try to pull out a fun story out of our memory banks.
Pull out.
I just headbutted the money.
The only thing that pulls out is my couch.
Right.
Oh.
But me and Austin know what thing we're going to talk about. It's another one of our weird things that we do.
Oh, yeah.
Like with the climbing and the illegal things. David said did weird stuff. Did you have something in mind, or did you want us to tell our thing first,
By
and
all
then
means.
you can kind
You
of
share
think of yours?
first.
Climbing illegal things? Wait, what the... What?
Allegedly. Sorry.
Allegedly.
Allegedly
Well,
illegal.
you'll find out about this story on the podcast.
Yes.
What I was going to say is, do you want us to tell our story while you think of one, or would you rather go first?
I have multiple, because apparently when I was really young, I was an extremely crazy child.
Go for it. Go.
So... Go ninja, go ninja, go! Go ninja, go ninja, go!
Ninjas.
You don't even know what that's from.
I don't know what anything's from. Just tell.
Go ahead, David.
Yeah, say your thing.
So, when I was about, like... My dad says it was 3. My mom says it was 2. My sister says it was 2. I don't know who to listen to at this point. So I'm just going to say I was between 2 and 3.
So 2.5.
It's somewhere around something. I don't know. Apparently over at at my neighbors when I lived with my parents, there was this giant ass caterpillar, and this is going to be very disgusting for anybody who has a very weak stomach.
Did you put it in your butt?
I bit the head off and I sucked the guts out.
You
What
sucked,
the fuck?
dude. You sucked off a caterpillar. What the fuck?
Yes.
Suck that caterpillar dick.
Caterpillar.
Caterpillar dick. See,
Disgusting. Why would you do that?
Okay, so what you're saying is you bit that.
Bit off the head and sucked the guts out.
He bit off the head and sucked the guts out of a caterpillar?
Yes.
Dude.
That's metal as
Yes.
fuck.
I was about to say, I was like, that's gross, but that's metal as fuck.
Yes.
No.
What other things did you do? I want to know now. Like, this is supposed to be like you tell a cute little story and then we do our thing. But I want to know more shit about what happened to you. Okay, we're gonna change. This segment is not called Story Time with the Boys. This is called Where David's Parents Went Wrong.
Where David's parents went wrong. Yes. So if my parents ever decide to actually listen to one of these, I hope they don't listen to this one.
Oh god.
I hope they do. My dad listens to every single one. Actually, real quick before you think, little side tidbit. I called my dad and I asked him if he listened to the last podcast. He said I stopped after 10 minutes because after that I just got stupid.
Oh yeah.
And he said it exactly like that. Stupid.
Stupid.
Good. Because it did.
It really did.
Because I re-listened to it after it was uploaded, and you, Mr. Day Late.
Okay, yeah, okay, I got it a day late. But you heard my explanation for it, and everyone that listened to the last podcast did. I do apologize. That was my fault. I had family come in and distracted me. But I still got it edited, and I got it up at a regular slot just a day late, and we're back on schedule now. I apologize. And I also apologize for the audio. I don't know at what point it happened at.
It was closer to the end. It was at about like an hour 20 where all of the audio just started clipping, and it started... It literally...
It was like batshit crazy.
Yeah, for about like, what, 10 seconds? 5?
It was like 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, so I have no idea how we could have fixed it. I think it was just like an audio or an electrical interference from somewhere that caused that, but I don't know why that happened. Hopefully it doesn't happen this time.
Hopefully.
But yeah, anyway, your stories, go.
Again, 2 years old. At my parents' house, there used to be a metal chain link fence, and at the top of it, where it's the
Like the cap of the pole?
no, the actual pole that extends all the way across.
Oh,
like,
okay, yeah,
keeps
that
it-
you attach your actual links to?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
that pole. Above that is the little where it starts to twist and it ties the links together.
Yeah.
Where it sticks out and it points, kind of like barbed wire.
Did it go in your butt?
It didn't go in my butt. It went into my head.
Fuck.
What the fuck was wrong with you?
How did it happen?
So I was a very adventurous little toddler.
As
Like-
most are.
Yeah, as most are.
Yeah.
I decided to climb the chain link fence
Okay.
while my dad was working in the garage
Smart
Okay.
choice.
and my mom was at work.
Yep.
My mom came home. She saw that my face was bleeding. Her immediate thought was not to take me to the hospital.
Did you beat my child?
No, her immediate thought was not to take me to the hospital, but yell at my dad.
Well,
yeah.
I can understand that. Like, you're supposed to have like a good view on your children.
No, your immediate thought should be, I need to get my kid to the hospital, and then I'm going to yell at the father.
Well, how big was the gash? Were you just like bleeding a little bit, or was it?
Oh no,
like,
I have a permanent scar on my forehead.
Okay, so yeah, it was pretty bad. It's like
Yes.
Chainsaw Massacre, kind of just like blood on your face, kind of thing.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, then yeah, that's a little ass backwards.
And then, another thing that happened when I was closer to 3 years old. A lot of things tended to happen when I was a lot younger. I was over at my, I believe it was my aunt's. No, it was. I was staying with my birth mother. This was the time period where she had custody of me. I was with her and my aunt and my older cousin, who is 2 years older than me.
Okay.
They were both over, and while my mom and my aunt were in the living room talking, me and my cousin were playing with little kid toys, so
Yeah.
like the plastic like tool set stuff.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I went ham on those when I was
Oh,
a kid.
yeah.
Oh my god.
I think
So did
everybody did.
I was
my
like-
cousin.
Yeah.
So far to the point where he jabbed it into my eye socket.
What the fuck?
I actually still have the scar. To prove
Why
it.
is every story you've told so far has been like, yeah, I could have died.
I could have. I actually could have lost my right eye.
That fuck.
Like, it was in there to the point where I could move my hand, the blood was coming down, and the thing was sticking straight out of my head.
Your cousin probably heard your aunt go, yeah, that kid's got a screw loose. He just went in to try to tighten that shit up.
I'll get it.
Don't worry, Mom, I got it. I got it. It'll be okay.
Got a Kermit suicide.
That's insane.
Yeah, and there have been, like, all of these stories, I'm not even going to lie, are most likely going to be,
You getting injured?
he almost died.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Because Austin has seen it. He actually recently saw it. I have a giant-ass scar on my stomach.
Ugh.
Dude, it's like 3 to 3.5 inches long.
That's nuts.
You know what an L bracket is?
Yeah.
So, I don't know why they're designed this way. It's just, apparently on one side of an L bracket, it is literally razor sharp.
That's kind of a weird design flaw.
I don't know if they've changed it since then, but this happened when I was about 3, 4.
Yeah.
I was at a car wash with my dad and my sister. It was old, like, manual car wash. So while my dad was washing the truck, me and my sister were outside of the little brick building.
Yeah.
And the garage doors were manual garage doors, so you had to actually press a button. You had to press a big old green button
Yeah.
to open it, and a big old red button to close it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think I know where this is going. Keep going. Keep going. Let's go.
my dumbass decided that is fun. I'm gonna press the button. I'm gonna press the big green button. I'm gonna open this garage door. So, and you know the concrete poles
Yeah.
that they usually have at like in parking lots.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
it kind of guards from going, like, if you
Going too
accidentally
far.
go forward, you'll, like, hit a building kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They were on both sides of the garage door.
Mhm.
I decided I'm gonna climb this. So I climbed up the concrete pole.
Did that go in your butt?
Nothing has gone in my butt.
Dang it.
Damn it.
I'm kind of hoping this just takes
Nothing.
a weird, like, sexual turn.
And there was little metal tubing that was covering the wires so they didn't get wet from the button down to underneath all of the concrete
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't short out and whatnot.
block building underneath to the other side of the button
Mhm.
and to all of the machinery that controlled the garage door or whatever.
Yeah.
And right at like hip height on a fully grown adult male was the L bracket.
Yeah.
So I was 3 or 4, so I wasn't that tall. I was about half that height, so it literally came up to like the top of my head. As I was trying to reach for the button from the concrete pole, I tripped and fell. And the razor sharp portion of the L bracket slid up from where my hip starts all the way up to where my sternum starts.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Let's get an F in the chat.
He took the L the other day.
And
It was so
God, I fucking hate you.
like A plus for
A plus for creativity.
A plus for creativity, but fuck,
But-
dude.
Fuck. Because I literally could, at that point in time,
Should have died.
should have died, could have died with all my guts out
Yeah.
on the pavement.
Yeah, literally and figuratively spilling your guts.
Because when I got to the hospital, the doctors told my parents that the incision was literally, I believe it was either a centimeter or a millimeter away from my stomach lining.
Yes, your incision.
Yes. It was a big-ass incision.
Yeah, the non-medical incision, the incision from the L bracket in the brick wall.
Yes.
That's nuts. But that
Yes.
reminded me of something that happened to my aunt, which obviously I wasn't alive for this because she was like, I don't know, like 15. But she got new rollerblades and she was going down like their like driveway.
Yeah.
And she fell. And there apparently was something in the driveway. It wasn't. I think it might have been like an embedded rock, something like that, but it was pretty sharp. And she fell, and when she slid, she had a cut that was probably, I want to say it was at least like 1/8 inch deep, which doesn't sound like much, but like as a cut, it's decent. But she literally had a cut from her cheek all the way down to her knee.
That is
Just one solid.
That is actually insane.
That like yeah.
God damn.
Like luckily it cut it and like yeah she was bleeding, but I think she only needs stitches and like down near her leg because that's when she was like trying to get up and that put more pressure on it. But like
That shit would hurt.
yeah, that shit would hurt.
That shit hurted.
And your freaking fence story
Yeah.
remind me of something, but I didn't want to interrupt your because you had a flow going.
You did.
Didn't want to bust up that flow.
I have another story that actually correlates with that same exact area.
Okay, we'll do that. I'll do mine. You do that, and then me and Austin will get into our fun little ditty. When I would say I was probably 9 to 11, like somewhere in that range, and I have a younger brother that's 4 years younger than me. We were in the garage, and I was sitting on like a table that we had in there. My parents were talking, and my brother was sitting on the ground right behind our jet ski. And so as they're talking, my brother kind of like starts to like lean back or whatever, like into like where the the actual trailer for the jet ski is. Apparently, there was a piece of metal there that was sticking out that was fairly sharp. And so as he's leaning back, my mom goes, "No," but not quick enough. And he leans back in the metal, and I'm gonna do a little hand demonstration for you. This is his back leaning back.
Yep.
This is the metal piece. He leans back into it and just goes a solid 1 to 1.5 inches into his back, probably 2 inches to the left of his right shoulder blade.
Nice.
Just right in there. And so he leans forward, and obviously he's screaming his fucking head off.
Oh yeah.
Because he would have been 5.
He just got stabbed.
Yeah, he would have been. He would have been like 5 to 7 years old.
Baby's
And
first
so they go in,
stabbing.
and I remember my mom going, "No, you go upstairs, get ready for bed." And my dad and my mom are looking at it, and I remember standing on the stairs because we have like the dual stairs that go up. Like, I remember standing on the first set of stairs, looking at my mom, like looking at him, and she's like whispering to my dad, like, "Do we need to take him to the hospital? Because he might need stitches." And like obviously checking for tetanus and whatever. I don't think they actually ended up going to the hospital.
What the fuck?
Well, because like they didn't.
Hospital's expensive, man.
Yeah, hospital's
Your
expensive as
kid
fuck.
just got stabbed.
Who cares?
Yeah, but like it wasn't. They could tell it wasn't near anything vital. Like I said, it's next to the shoulder blade. The only thing that could have, it just cut muscle. But I remember my mom kneeling over him. My brother's on the ground, and I could just see the gash. I could see like a little trail of blood just going, like down into like the middle part of his, like where his back is, like that divot where the spine is. Yeah. Well, like I'm talking about like the divot, like because like spines protrude out, but like there's the divot of muscle kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I could just see it just going like a little river down his butt crack. Yeah, that shit was nasty.
That's nuts.
But yeah, you had your
But
one. Yeah.
First off, I'm gonna go off of. Who cares if you got stabbed? I have, and yes, I have counted. I have over 50 scars on both my hands alone.
Yeah.
Do you know how many stitches I've had?
14.
1.
24.
I was close.
Just 1 stitch.
24.
That's a lot of stitches.
Yep. I've had. Wow, I actually got that number correct, and I didn't even think about it before I said it.
Nice.
I had 9 for the chain link fence on my head. I had 9 for my stomach.
Yep.
And I had 6 for my hand. Which is another story that you know about that I actually do really want to tell because I almost lost the tips of all of my fingers.
Yeah, you can do that one. Yeah, that's pretty morbid.
But
I wasn't there for that one, was I?
No, you weren't there, but you heard about it.
Oh yeah.
Going back to around the area of the chain link fence.
Yep.
So, obviously, as all brothers and sisters do when they're younger, me and my sister, we
Fucked.
didn't get along. That's
This isn't Alabama.
Oh yeah. I forgot you didn't grow up in the South. Go ahead. Yeah, you can take it away.
most brothers and sisters don't really get along all that well
Of course.
at a young age.
Yeah,
They
also follows for brothers, I think, too. Just siblings in general.
pretty much
Yeah.
we just fought nonstop. My sister is 4 years older than me. She says 5, but it's actually 4.
You.
So we were wrestling in the front lawn.
Also, all the neighbors can see.
Yeah. This is some Brazos shit.
No, it's not.
Just keep
This is
going.
more like world star shit.
Okay.
She curb stomped my face into the ground.
Holy shit. We just went from what could allegedly be called porn.
Star!
See, that was a good way to do it. You didn't clip the mic at all on that. That was perfect.
Yeah, no, but yeah, she legit
Crunch.
curb stomped my face. And now, in these days, if she tried that, it would be an epic fail and she'd be thrown into the road.
Yeah, because now your skull is made of metal.
Now my skull is made of metal, and I'm literally like 60 pounds heavier than her.
Yeah,
He's Magneto now.
legit though. If your skull was just made of steel.
Oh, I'd headbutt the fuck out of everybody.
No, I was saying we should just play a game where you sit on the couch and we stand by the front door and we try to throw magnets at your head, like the magnetic darts.
I'd actually be down.
Yeah, just toss magnetic darts
As
at
long
your
as
head.
you don't hit my eye.
No, you're sitting the way you are now.
Oh,
We're-
so you'd just be
Yeah,
throwing
yeah,
them at the back of my head.
yeah, we just
Okay,
shave
yeah.
your head. We use body paint and make
Not
a little
again,
target,
please.
and then we just.
I don't want to shave my head again, please.
No, we're shaving it.
No.
Yeah, we're not gonna shave it.
Um.
But yeah, what about your fingertips?
So it was actually when I was working at Papa Murphy's. This is actually hilarious. And it's also the reason why they got rid of the swivel knife, which...
We got rid of that?
Yeah, they got rid of it because of this.
Gotta love being the reasoning for like a big change.
Yeah, I also got out of work for 3 days.
I like being out of work for days.
So how it go?
Dumbass.
How it goes was one day I was tasked with shredding the cheese.
I'm a fan of cutting the cheese as well.
I've been doing it for the past like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but the thing is, the mic picks up mine.
Oh, I'm purposely trying to make it so the mic doesn't pick up mine.
That's lame.
But anyway, I was trying to. One of the cheese blocks had fallen on the ground, and it got some of the leftover stuff that wasn't picked up when we swept.
Yeah.
So I was told, just grab the swivel knife, just use that, get that chunk of the cheese off, and then use it again.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, that doesn't seem like we should be doing that.
Yeah, but it's
whatever.
immoral, but it does get rid of the contaminated bits.
Yeah.
So I can see
But-
the logic in it.
So I don't know if you know how swivel knives work.
I might. I don't know necessarily if I
They
do.
have a handle on each side.
Yes.
And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to rock back and forth.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. I was double checking because that's the same way we did it when I did pizza stuff too. So yeah. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah.
So, I really don't know how to word this.
He's in pain just thinking about it.
I am actually.
I feel.
My dumbass decided, I'm not gonna rock it. I'm just gonna go straight through.
Oh, you start chopping shit.
Guillotine style.
Just guillotine.
Yeah.
I just guillotined that shit, and I
Yeah.
also guillotined my fingers. So when I tried to do that, I used a shit ton of force. I didn't use all my weight because I'm pretty sure if I would have used all my weight, my fingers would have come off.
Naturally.
So when it happened, the knife slipped and it rolled forward a little bit. So you know where you get that weird like
Bubble.
triangle
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Triangle cut?
piece,
Yeah.
and then there's
Cut.
still the weird triangle cut, and there's still that little bit left.
Yeah,
off
there's
of
that slant. Okay.
that slant.
Mhm.
When that happened, it hit the table, and I'm doing hand motions, but nobody can really see it except for
Yeah,
these
I'll
guys.
do my best to like blind person.
So what
Explain it.
happened was when I was using all of my weight, my hands weren't really securely located on the handles.
Yeah.
They were more like just positioned so I can just push down.
Yeah. Okay.
So when it rocked forward, my hands also rocked forward
Ooh.
right on the blade. So when it hit the table, the blade stamped my fingers.
Yeah, I don't even think I need to explain your hand motions. That was pretty descriptive.
And and my first reaction, which should whenever you find a place that you're bleeding that you can do this to, your first reaction should always be
Apply
clench
pressure.
the location and apply pressure.
Yeah.
My first reaction was to immediately clench my hands to the point where I was white knuckling. And it got to the point where when my boss told me open up my hands, it hurt to open my hand because I had been clenching it so hard for so long that they had like locked into that location.
Oh, that's gross.
So, and here's the worst part.
Oh God.
When I went to urgent care,
Yeah.
they looked at it. The immediate reaction was, "That's bone."
Oh.
Oh my God.
I was like, "Are you
It's like, are
kidding
you sure about that?
me?" I cut to the brilly.
Bone?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
that's what stopped the blade.
Because I'm not a squeamish. I'm not really a squeamish person. Like you can literally show me entrails and all this stuff, and I'll just be like, "That's pretty neat."
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. That's good
So
quality to
when
have.
they just told me that's bone, my reaction was to look at the nurse and just go, "What?"
Really?
It's like, oh,
And
all right.
the coolest thing is, I didn't know they did this. They injected the like morphine, Novocaine stuff to immediately numb the area,
Yeah.
so I couldn't feel anything anymore.
Yeah.
But it caused my fingers to swell up in just that one location.
What the fuck?
So it looked like I just had a giant bubble just underneath my skin on the first knuckle on each of my fingers.
Oh, it's gross.
Just
And I was like, this is fucking weird.
yeah, just madly specific blisters.
Right? I was just, so when they were, because that was one of the 3 locations where I needed stitches. I got 2 in my pointer finger on both hands, 1 on both my middle finger and my ring finger,
Yeah.
and my pinky was just my pinky was just a slight cut. So they
Yeah.
were
Okay.
just like
Yeah.
they
It
didn't
didn't
really
get
need-
the brunt
yeah.
of it. Okay. Yeah.
It didn't get the brunt of it because it was far at the end.
Yeah.
So they were just like, we're just going to need to stitch up the 3 fingers and then wrap it up and you should be fine. Just change the bandage. Change the bandage once every day or when you feel like it's needed. And I was like, are you going to give me any like pain medication? Cause I'm
Oh, so you did it on purpose.
because I'm, no,
I don't want to get high as shit.
because I'm pretty sure after.
So I don't get Vicodin?
I'm pretty sure after this Novocaine shit wears off in my fingers, this is
It's
gonna
gonna hurt.
hurt like a bitch. And they're like, well, we can't prescribe you anything, but just take some Tylenol or ibuprofen. And I was like, there's no fucking way that's
Yeah, that
actually
will.
gonna help.
Depends how much you take. If I'm being
Well,
honest.
over the counter stuff is not strong enough. Like
I
I'm
guess, yeah.
like my sis, I've taken
800 milligrams.
too much throughout my life.
Okay, 800 that shit.
I've taken too much ibuprofen throughout my life because of migraines and shit.
Yeah.
And military.
Actually, I only went to sick call twice, and they only gave me ibuprofen once. I took 2 pills, and that was it. Out of the 14 that they gave me.
Nice.
Props.
Yeah, because I was just like, fuck it, whatever.
All right.
But yeah, I've taken ibuprofen so much throughout my life that my body is like immune to the drug. So if I take ibuprofen, it literally does nothing to me unless I take like 3-4 tablets at once, which is really bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which it's just bad.
Yeah, I got that immunity when I was because I have really really bad teeth because I had braces for 13 years, and
Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, we I'll explain the whole thing because that's honestly that's probably gonna be pretty boring on the podcast, but I'll explain it to it after. But yeah, and when they put my back bracket on my molar, they there was apparently still some like food or gunk or whatever there, and so that ate away at my far back like top right molar. And so like that, like whenever that, because I'm eventually gonna have to get all my teeth removed, and then get like permanent, just like full mouth dentures.
Implants.
Dentures, yeah.
Yeah,
implants.
essentially, yeah, implants. But when that tooth gets removed,
Did you just say eggplant?
Implants.
implant.
I heard eggplant.
I might have said eggplant. I don't know. But yeah, when that tooth gets removed, I'm keeping that one because when I can't personally see it, because the picture like it's never been good enough. Mm-hmm. But from what the dentist said and the surgeon that took out these two,
Yep.
that tooth is almost a perfect cross section of a tooth, outside to inside. Like that, the tooth is damaged enough now to I do not feel it. It's still connected, so it's still it's still a living tooth.
Just the nerves are dead.
Yeah, but the nerves are so dead that I cannot feel it. But when I had that in there, when I had all that pain, and especially from the tooth that got taken out, I took probably 4 acetaminophen and 6 Tylenol twice a day.
Damn.
Like, yeah, I was popping like 2,400 milligrams twice a day.
Also, I have to apologize for. I just realized. I have to apologize for any of the squeamish listeners for any of my stories.
Yeah, I'll put a little.
I am very sorry about my stories because they are somewhat gruesome at times.
Yeah, I'll put in a little tummy warning.
a little.
Yeah.
A little tummy warning. It's just...
But more importantly, the reason you all listen to this podcast specifically.
To hear the dumb shit we do.
It's time for Crow and Nomad's 4-H compound extravaganza.
Cool.
And David hasn't heard this either, I don't think.
No.
No, okay, David doesn't know either, so we can get
I haven't told him about this.
we can get a nice little live reaction from that.
I'm just gonna sit here and drink my palm.
That we allegedly did.
Yeah, this is all bullshit, and this never happened. I'm winking. So, near where I live, there's, and I'm sure across the U.S. it's a company called 4-H, and their symbol's like a clover.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it's something to do with horses,
I believe so.
right?
I have no fucking idea.
I think it's like horse racing, barrel racing,
I
jumping.
don't know
whatever.
why you're looking at me.
But
I have no
there's-
idea what you're talking about.
There's a big 4-H compound near where we live, and so we had gone around and we're like, oh yo, let's go in there and just explore. So the one day we went in and we walked around and we're like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. There's buildings here, and then we came up with a dumb idea, a different time, because we had gone in there. So we came in for the second time. We're like, this time we're gonna get into those buildings. I want to see what's inside of it. Allegedly. Okay, if you say allegedly 17 times during this, I'm literally going to walk over and shove my taint on your nose. You could tongue punch my fart box.
Promise?
This entire story is allegedly. Allegedly over everything.
Okay.
So stop
I'm good.
saying.
I'm good. We're good.
Anyway, we go back and we're like, we're going to get in here. And so we grab equipment. But we did not have legitimate equipment this time because we were still little amateur boys.
Oh, yeah.
We had hoodies. We had masks.
That was really about it.
Yeah, that's all that we had.
We had masks, though.
Yeah, just so you can't see our face. And so we come back, and we had driven my car, and the one thing I do remember that was terrifying.
So many cops there were?
Yeah, well, number one, we saw at least 5 cop cars because, fun fact, the next door neighbor is the police station.
Which we didn't realize till after.
Well, no, I'm pretty subconsciously we knew it,
I didn't fucking know.
but yeah. Anyway, so we go over there, and I had almost locked my keys into the trunk of my car. And so we had walked up and we're like, oh wait, we forgot something. So we were going back to the car, and I was feeling my pocket for the keys, and I could not feel them, and I was like, oh shit. So like legit, if granted, it was just on the top of my trunk, so I just had to go over to my trunk, and like they was like right at the top, so I just kind of pulled them out. It was below that like little metal flap kind of thing by the seal.
Yeah.
But if that wouldn't have happened, I would have had to call AAA, and they would have showed up to two late teen-year-olds wearing black clothing, masks, with a backpack full of gear next to this compound, which would not have looked good.
It would have been funny though.
It was.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have
For
been
the views, my guy.
for the views.
Do it for the vine.
Do it for the vine.
No.
Anyway, so what our gear consisted of, right? We knew we needed to get into the building, and so yeah, that's why we came back. We didn't forget something. We had gone in and we tested the. You know what I'm just realizing? I apologize. We didn't do this twice. We did this 3 times.
Did we?
Yes.
Oh shit.
So
okay.
I'm going to speed cap this. First time we walked in, we just walked around. We're like, oh my God, there's buildings. Second time, we're like, okay, we got to get into these buildings. And so we went up and we opened, there's just a little latch. We opened up like a wood panel that opened up, and then there's mesh. And then we just kind of cut through the mesh and we got in. This third time, and second time was when I forgot the keys. This third time we went back, and they changed the lock on the thing, so it wasn't just like a pull lock kind of, like deadbolt kind of thing on the outside.
Yep.
There was like a legitimate lock on the inside, and so we couldn't get in that way, and so we had to go around to the side, because our little score for this evening is we noticed they had one of those big coolers, like the tall ones that you can get drinks out of at like the gas station in Walmart.
Yeah.
They had that filled with 12 packs. And it was still running. So all these 12 packs were cold, unopened.
Cold and crispy.
Cold and crispy. And so that was our haul for the day. And we had a big, like, army duffel bag.
I still have that duffel
Yeah,
bag.
that he still has. And so we go up to the door, and there's a master lock on it. And now we did not have a blowtorch to cut through this.
Or a lockpick set.
Or a lockpick set. Or a crowbar. I had pliers. Or not pliers, wrenches. Monkey wrenches.
Yeah, we had multiple sets of wrenches.
That I had purposefully planned out which ones to use and have to interchange. So it starts off obviously with just like your regular, like everything's fine. It's like a brand new lock. I use the first 2, which are 2 small ones, get it, squeeze it, so then it spreads the metal. And then I switched out the right one for one size bigger and did it again, which separated it even more. And then I switched out the left for the equal size on the right, and kept doing that. And then I got to the big ones, and I just went, and I snapped it. And I was like, perfect. Now we can get in. And this entire time, I'm sitting there with a headlamp, and the light is on red because it's an LED. It's because red is the most inconspicuous light, and it's harder to see. Because like, if it was white, obviously you can see that and anything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we broke it open, we went in, and so we get the duffel bag. And as I'm filling up the pops into the thing, what doesn't Austin say what he did while I was getting our score?
So I looked at Nick and I'm like, hey man, like, I really need to shit.
And now David broke.
I'm like, I gotta go like right now, or I'm gonna shit myself in the car on the way back.
And I'm like, dude, just hold it. We can leave here. We'll go to the gas station.
And I'm looking, I'm like I'm not gonna make it that far. Like I need to go now.
This bitch prairie dogging.
Like it was like I could feel it starting to poke out. So as he's filling up the bag, I'm looking around, like I kind of poke my head outside looking for a porta potty. There ain't shit. I'm like fuck it.
But you know what is shit? There's shit in his butt.
So literally as he's filling up the bag, like maybe 2 feet from me, I just drop trowel and just take a shit
On the floor.
like middle of the floor, just dropped it.
He did not
Nice.
find a container. He did not go in the working sink
Nope.
that they could have washed it down. He dropped his pants
And took a shit
and
on the
shit
floor.
on the floor.
You're an idiot.
Yup.
And then he gets up, and I'm like, okay, that's gross. And we fill it up. And luckily, right as we're getting to like the last 12 packs is when it started to smell. And so I'm like, okay, we need to get the fuck out of here. It's not good. And so we grab the bag.
I was about to say this story is kind of boring, and then all of a sudden Austin just drops. I shit on the floor.
Well, this is the one that Austin wanted to tell. I have one that I wanted to tell.
Okay.
But so yeah, we grab the stuff. We get back in the car.
Yes.
You said that like it was a question.
I think I fucked this up again.
What do you mean?
We had the car the second time. We didn't have it the third time.
What do we have?
Longboards. We walked.
Oh fuck, you're right.
I have to use
Oh
the
my
bathroom.
god.
What?
I have to use the bathroom.
Okay, we'll pause it real quick. Dave will go use the bathroom, and then we will resume this fun story. We're back from the potty break, and through deliberation, I realized I messed up the story again.
Hooray.
Not by much. The third time when we actually got the pop, we did not have the car. We walked from my house.
Which was like a good 2 to 3 mile hike.
Yeah, 2 or 3 miles. So we're walking. So pick up where we left off. We had left the compound, and we are currently walking back to my house.
Yep.
Which is the start of this return 2 to 3 mile hike. As we're walking, we're just walking, talking, whatever, listening to music, jamming, drinking some of the pops that we had taken, and there's people down the road from us as we're walking through this residential kind of area. And it's like three or four.
Yeah, something like that.
Might have been, yeah, three or four kids about our age on the opposite side of the street. And we just hear one of them go, "Hey, yo, what's up?" And we're like, "Hey,
Fuck
what's
it.
up?"
What's good?
Yeah, it's like, "Hey, what's good, dude?" And we're just like, "Who the fuck are they? And why are they talking to us?" Because I have no idea who they are. And so we're walking. David, put your phone down. Pay attention.
I'm listening.
You best be.
I am.
Okay.
You're
So we
not
keep
actively
walking,
listening.
and they get closer, and then they start crossing the street to us. And I'm like, "Yo, dude, like, I don't know who the fuck, like, are you
We
ready?"
start getting paranoid.
Yeah, I was like, "You ready to square up?" Like, because I'm ready to square up. And the dude goes over, he's like, "Oh, yo, you're not my friend."
We're like, nah.
We're like, "No, we have no idea who you are." He's like, "Yeah, we're supposed to meet with some people, and you were like, you ain't it." I was like,
Nah.
"Yeah," and he's like, "All right, have a good one." I'm like, "Hey, yo, you guys want to pop?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, I guess." And so we open the backpack, and we got these cans of pop just in my, because he has the duffel bag with most of it. We put some of the pop in the backpack I was wearing. So I opened. I'm like, "You want this or this?" And he's like, "I'll take a Mountain Dew." And so we gave him a Mountain Dew, gave the other guy like a spray, and we talked to him, and then we swapped fucking Snapchats.
Yeah.
So I think I still have him. I still have one of them in my
Oh,
in my
fuck, you still
Snapchat.
got it?
Yeah, I still have one of them. I don't
Oh,
remember
damn.
the name, but so yeah, I still got the guy's Snapchat. And then we keep walking, and like, remember, this is like a 3 mile kind of walk, and so we're walking, whatever, and every like probably 5 to 10 minutes we have to stop to sit because it's just too long of a hike, and then we eventually make it back, but
Weak.
dude, it sucked. And this was, we had no military training either.
We didn't go on rock marches.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if we would have gone on ruck marches like you, David, then it would have been fine.
Yeah? You got something to say?
No. I'm just saying
Bitch.
that at your current
Fuck you.
I'm saying at your current stature and with your experience, it might not have been as bad. I'm saying you were a very tough man. Thank you. Anyway, this is the story I wanted to tell. There's
Good segue.
There's an abandoned wheat processing facility outside of Minneapolis.
This is a good one.
This is a good one. I followed one of my friends from high school on Instagram, and she does like, modeling and whatever. And she took this picture where she is up on top of this grain silo, and in the background you can see a complete skyline left to right of Minneapolis. And I was like, oh my God, that'd be a really good climb, because me and him were in urban climbing. And so I messaged her, and she does not respond with the location. So I'm like, okay, well then we're just gonna have to figure out where it is. So me and him sat in his room for a good 30 to 45 minutes, like looking around the outside of Minneapolis.
Like
and
he was on a laptop, I was on my TV. Like
yeah,
we were
like
just
we're
trying to figure
cross
everything
sectioning like what building is in front of what other building to figure out the direction and everything, and we find it. And so we're like, dope, let's hit this. And so I had just gotten my wisdom teeth taken out, so I'm looped as shit. And we get on a train. We go the whole way to Minneapolis, and we figure out where it is, and we set Google Maps. So we walk all the way out there, which is about a mile and a half, and we have to climb around a fence over a river. So there's a river going down, and the fence is literally hanging over the river. And so we're like climbing around the thing, just Donkey Konging it. And we get in, and we break in, and well, we don't break in. We go in through underneath a garage door. And this place. This place is spooky.
I mean, granted,
Spoopy.
No,
like the
no, it
artwork
does
in
no.
this was
It
beautiful.
it does not. No, you cannot demean what it is with the spoopy meme. It was legitimate. Like we could have turned a corner, and I would not have been surprised to see a clown with a chainsaw.
Not to mention all the used needles.
Yeah,
across the
used
floor.
needles. I'm sure homeless people have lived there just for shelter. And so we're walking around and we're trying to find our way up to this, top area where she was. So we're walking through. There's like areas that are full of graffiti, and I got some really, really, really dope pictures from
The
that.
art in this place was just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and so we both have these knockoff Vivitar GoPros. So we're taking pictures, we're taking videos every so often of us like walking. And at one point we took a picture with both of our feet in it, and it's just spray paint pointing up the stairs said death above. And we're like, oh,
Metal as
shit.
fuck. Click.
Yeah. And so in the staircases going up, like a lot of them had like open, like where the windows used to be, but the glass is knocked out. So it's just an open thing. And there's a building of a like legitimate, like current up and running company. And so we have to go by these windows at certain points so these people outside in delivery trucks and everything don't see us. Because then they'll call the cops and we'll be arrested. And so we finally make it up, not to the point where she was, but to a roof, essentially. And I think it was you. You brought an airsoft gun.
We didn't.
No, we did.
Did we?
Yes, because I remember we left it in one of the top. We left it in one of the top grain things, like the belt.
Oh, fuck yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we left it there, and we kept saying that we're gonna vow to go back and get it.
We still have yet to go back. And
We still
get it.
haven't done it, but maybe one day.
Maybe next weekend. Who knows?
Yeah, so we went up there, and the stairs to the final point of where we're like, because at the very top where I got the pictures from, we're sitting on a tin roof that's about 35 stories in the air. And like if one of us farts or something and just starts sliding, you're going straight off, and it's just a 35-story drop to death. Just death. And so we got the pictures and whatever, and we're going down, but the stairway going down, it's the same kind of like you go up, there's a landing, you go up, there's a landing and a door, and the same kind of thing going around. But the landings aren't there.
Yeah, landings were gone.
The landings were taken out.
Nice.
So it's
So
just
that bar in the center.
yeah,
like,
it's just
between
the
two.
center support bar. So you have to go up the stairs, hold the rail, and step on this 1-inch wide bar, and then step to the next staircase and hope you don't slip and fall. Because at that point, it's not 35 stories, but it's
You're still falling like into pitch black darkness.
yeah for a good amount of distance.
Nice.
Yeah, and the funny thing about this entire story is that the day before when I got my teeth taken out, my dentist and surgeon said, do not partake in strenuous activities for at least a week. And the next day we get on a shuttle train going the whole way down, and I'll show you these pictures, and who knows, maybe I'll post one of them on Twitter or something so people can see. But yeah, that was absolutely bonkers because like up to that point, I think
That
both,
was like at the
That's
time,
our
that
highest-
was our best climb.
that's still the highest we've been.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like we've had more dangerous climbs, which is the compound. Like there's 4-H.
That was terrifying.
And there's the reprocessing facility, and then there's the compound. That's the one we're saving for episode 100, and that's the one that we're gonna tell you after this. But we're gonna tell David, but we're not gonna release the audio until a certain point. But to date, that is the highest climb we've done. That's probably the most in terms of falling, the most dangerous. Because like I've almost fallen off a Walmart roof,
Yeah.
but not.
That one was pretty funny.
Yeah, that if I would have slipped, like it would have hurt, but I would only have fallen like 10, 15 feet onto like those actual pallet racks.
Yeah.
But
Still been funny. As
that
shit.
was nuts. It said it's one of his scariest ones. He did not like that experience at all.
I mean, granted, like looking back at it now, like I probably would go again, but I still want more time to like prep myself for it.
Yeah.
I'd do it.
Okay, then you're coming with us now.
Oh fuck yeah, we're all doing it,
You're part of it now.
dude. Live stream?
We're not gonna live stream a crime
Why?
because you want to know what happens when you live stream a crime?
You
Exactly
get
what
caught.
happened to the lady that started licking ice cream.
So
Wait,
here's the thing:
what?
we'll just do it in the building.
Oh wait, you didn't?
Oh, you don't know about that? Hold on. Okay, hold on. We'll save that. We'll just finish. We need to finish this first.
Yeah, well, I mean that's pretty much it. We're at an hour, so
all right.
this is essentially the end. It was just story time for a little bit
All right.
because there wasn't much that went on. But I guess in closing, thank you all for listening to the podcast. I know this is a very abrupt
Yeah, really
stop, but hopefully something interesting happens. I know the week of the September 20th we're gonna have something.
Oh,
We're gonna go.
Oh, bro, I'm
We're
gonna
going
have
ham.
I'm going to have probably absolutely nothing to talk about because that entire week I am going to be playing the new Borderlands 3 game that's coming out September
That's fine.
13th.
I'll just compile a bunch of information on the raid that happens.
Comes out the 13th.
Oh shit! All right, I might be gone that week too.
But yeah. So we'll have stuff then. We didn't have a whole lot today, but hopefully we'll have some stuff next week. Thank you all for listening. It's been great just being part of this whole thing. We appreciate anyone's support that listens or comments or gives us words of advice. David is making really, really beautiful fuck me eyes at me right now. And so I'm going to end the podcast and I'm just going to shove it right in his ass.
See you later, motherfuckers.